As a blockchain developer, when you will start working on any blockchain application, it could be a centralized application, decentralized, NFT marketplace, crypto trading bot, where you need real-time market data which you can provide in your decentralized application so your user can perform the trade and perform all the action, whatever service you are providing. And at the same time, you have to design the entire API call in such a way so it could be scalable, easy to understand, and easy to distribute the data across the entire state management. So your fellow developer who will work in your team, they can know that this is how you are making the call and this is not exhausting too many requests to our API provider. And that's what we'll try to master in this complete playlist, where I will show you that how you can make a request, design the entire system for getting the data smoothly. That said, let's start with our very first video in which we're going to write a program to get the data from CoinState. So right now you will find that I have created one file, index.js, and here we have to get our API key. And in this particular playlist, I'm using CoinState. Those of you who don't know CoinState, it is one of the best crypto API provider which give you the real-time data for your decentralized application, which you can include and make all the calls. So first thing, we have to get our API key. So what I will do, I'll come back to my browser and I will provide you the link of this site in the description, so you can click and you can come back here, and here you will find all the models. So you can get any endpoint and you can start exploring and getting the data. So what I will do, I'll start with first get all coin data. So click on that, and here you will find the complete details, that what endpoint we have to make a call, and you will find the responses, all the status codes. This one is very important because sometimes the API will down, there is an error, so you have to know how you can handle that one. So we have to get our API key. So I'll click on this my dashboard and it will take me to my account. Make sure to get your own API key. So I'll simply come back here and this is my API key. I'll simply copy that one, and that's the only thing I want to provide here. Once you get your API, now we have to find the endpoint where we want to make a request. So if I come back here, this is our endpoint. What I'm doing here, I want to get all the coins which is available in CoinState. So that's the endpoint where I'm going to send the request. Now, if you come back here, we have got the endpoint and we have got our API key. Now we have to build the function where we want to handle the request, check the data we are getting. That's all we have to do. So there I have created a simple function. What it does, it's a async function because we have to wait for the data to synchronize, and I have called function main in which we have to write the complete logic. So what I will do, I'll come back here. Let's try to call this particular function. So this is the function we're going to call it. Now let's try to write all the code. So first thing we do is we can come back here and we have to console log the URL. This will give us the information that we are getting this particular endpoint into our system model and it's ready to pass down to the request. Once we have that one, now we can come back here and design the entire header. We have to pass our post method and we have to pass our credential, which is our API endpoint. So API key. So if I come back here, you will find that here we got a particular variable called response, and I'm using this fetch model. We have Axios, you can use that as well, but I'm going with a simple Node.js model, which is fetch, and we're going to simply make a request and we're going to wait for the data. After that, we're going to simply handle it. So I'm passing the URL. This is the URL we are targeting. Now we have to design the model. So what kind of request we want to make it. So if I come back here, first is going to be the get method, because we're going to get the data from our CoinState API. And then we have to validate this request. For that, we need this API key, and that's what we're going to provide here. So if I come back here, let's give the header in which we have to provide the details. So it's going to be the type and it's going to be the API key. So let's provide the first one, which is the accept. So what kind of data we're going to accept is going to be a JSON format, because when we're going to make a call to our API, the data will come into a JSON format, and that's what we have to convert into a JavaScript object so we can use it into our entire application. So we got this accept. Now we have to pass our key, and this is how we can do it, X API key, and that's what we are passing. So this is a valid credential we are doing. We are telling that what data we need, and we are passing our authentication key and the endpoint. So this will give us the response. So if I come back here, let's come back and see the console log, because this can respond either okay, which is 200 status, 404, all this model we have. If you come back here, go back to the documentation, you will find that it could give any one of these response. You can design a separate system for each one of this response, but we are going with 200, which is okay status. So if I come back to the code, once we got the status codes, now let's try to handle that, because the data will come in the form of JSON and we cannot use the JSON as it is. We have to convert it. So if I come back here, let's try to handle the response. First, we have to check whether the status is okay, means is 200. That's the if statement I have taken. I'm taking the response and checking for that okay condition. Now, if I come back here, just console logout. If anything goes wrong, means the status code is not 200 and we are not getting the data, it's not okay, then we have to simply throw the error message, and the error could be anything. It could be 400 or API invalid key or too many requests exhaust. That's what you will find. If that's the condition happen when you are making the call, in this scenario I just want to return null, because if I don't return anything, the application is going to be crash. So let's return none, because most of you make this mistake. Don't use the return keyword, because you can return as an array, you can return as an object, as a simple. So this is the check we have to do. If it's okay, then we have to go to the next stage and we have to design the data the way we want, because the data is going to become in the form of JSON. So let's come back here, and first we have to simply convert this into a valid JavaScript. So I have called await respond.json, and we got the entire data right up here. So here you can perform all the filtration. So let's come back here and let's try to filter it out. So the list of the coins will have a huge list, but I just want to get the first three. And how you can do that? You can simply come back here and you can simply use the slice method. Whatever number you want, you can simply provide it, and you're going to simply have the data. So once I have the data, I can simply console log that. Perfect. So this is how you can handle what we have done. We have taken the API key, our endpoint where we want to make a request. We have authenticate ourselves that what data we need, our provided our API key, then we have checked the response, because most of you don't follow this stage. Like if you are making call to any API, it doesn't mean that you always have the data. Understand that what are the scenarios going to be there. So that's what we are doing. Then we are converting it and then we are logging it out. So this is what we have now. Let's try to test this out. Let's open up our terminal. And right now I'm in this main directory. Let me go to this particular folder. Here I am. Now let's try to run this one. So if I try to run this, hit enter, you will find that we are making the request. Let's bring it up. You will see that we are making the request. So first what we have done, we have console log the endpoint, and we have checked the status code, which is 200. If you come back here in the browser, which is 200, and it will check the format in which you will get the data. So you will find the data will come in the form of array, and you will see the name. First is going to be the Bitcoin. You will find the icons and name and symbols and all the ranking, price in BTC, volume, market cap, available supply, total supply. You will get the full and based on hour, week, month, Reddit URL, Twitter URL, contract address, and that's what you will find. Here we have the Ethereum, and then we have the Tether. So this is how you want. If you don't want to restrict, you can simply go with higher number. If I want to get, let's say 9, I can give that 9. I can come back here. I can open up my terminal and let's try to make a request. Let's clear it up and let's make a request. Hit enter, and you will find that you will get 9 data. 9 data you will get. So this is huge. This is the first one. This is the second one, Ethereum, Tether. We have the Binance. We have the USD, and that's all you will find. So this is how you can decide in which what will happen. Like once you have this data, you can able to pass to a store, to your state management, and you can simply distribute in your entire application. In that way, what will happen? You're not going to make too many requests frequently. Your user can perform all the trade. So you can set the time lock that after this much time get passed, you're going to make a recall to get the real data once again. So this one is really important. This is the model you have to follow. No matter what application you are building, whether you're going to use Axios or any other provider, this is the global structure which you have to follow, which is industry standard. And that's how you're going to manage your team for a scalable model. From here, you can integrate any authentication, any double validation. That's all you can do. But this is the golden rule, golden structure which you have to follow. So that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. In the next video, we'll try to take a couple of more examples and try to make more calls.